Baptist Church. My name is James Jenkins, the 14th, and I'm coming to you live today to tell you that the Lord has been watching you motherfuckers not putting nothing in the contribution box. Sister Jenkins, please point the person out who didn't put nothing in the contribution box today. It's the reason why our toilet in the church is not working.
No, it's not.
Because no one has been
The
putting
deacon
nothing in
did
the
that.
box.
Everybody
You got to
knows
pay
that.
to hear about the Lord nowadays.
See, I told
Gave
you.
me the word
I
to
told
give
you.
it to you. You motherfuckers better start putting something in the contribution box so me and Sister Jenkins can continue to ride these on that bitch.
Is that what we doing? That's what they be doing. So supposed to be doing it. You are now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. I am Sister Such-and-such, and welcome. For those that don't know about me, welcome. I am Sister Such-and-such. I'm an open-minded and raw person who says exactly what's on the damn mind, meanwhile telling the truth about it all. I don't sugarcoat nothing I say, so take it with a grain of damn sugar or love, whatever you want to call it. We call it a day. Yeah, so welcome. Welcome and welcome. Well, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing alright. This is Sister Such-and-such. Welcome. This is Sistah Talk. We got some things to talk about, but first I just want to take a moment and say that I hope everyone is coping fairly well with the pandemic. I hope everyone is masking it up. Don't be an ass, put on a mask. So I just wanted to take a moment and just say that, and to say to hold on. It's rough, but hold on. And I hope y'all will bounce back and be resilient, as I know y'all is. Y'all resilient. That's why we got generations after. And we have generations to come, because we are resilient. So y'all bounce back, okay? Just be resilient, be strong, hold on, mask it up. Don't be an ass, wear a mask. Now, we got some stories here today that was been in the news, and well, y'all, for those of y'all who know me, y'all knows how I am. I likes to read, and I come across these articles, and well, I find it very interesting, and I always want to share it with y'all to make sure y'all are aware of what's going on around us, and to see what y'all opinion is. What do y'all think about this? Because y'all know I'm going to give mine, but I want to know what y'all think about this mess we got going on and the stories we have for this evening. So for this evening, we've got, first up, Congressional Watchdog discovers acting DHS Chief, Wolf, and Senior Aide is not legally holding their jobs. They're unqualified, but yet they got it. So we're going to talk about how and why is this happening, why this is even going through, and how did we even get to that point? Yeah. And then we're going to also be talking about the allegations, and y'all probably know, if y'all keeping up with the news, then y'all might know about this. The allegations placed by Michael Cohen of the 26 election fraud. Now, we kind of thought something was going on with that, but we're going to talk about it. Alright, so let's go on and get into this. Now, before I get started about the congressional watchdogs, now we know, in everyday life, we see it happen all the time. Somebody gets a job based on, well, see, that's the thing. It's varying things that could land them in a position to get that position in which they were seeking. Whether it be privilege, or whether it be the chingling, the funds, the ducats, the coins. Whether it's popularity, whether it's a favor, whether they slept they way there. I mean, there's many different factors of how that can happen. But we're going to get off into this article now. Now, they saying the DHS officials not legally qualified to serve. So it makes you wonder, did they lie on it? On their applications? Was they a shoo-in for a friend? Was there some donations involved? So, the top two officials at the Department of Homeland Security, Acting Secretary Chad Wolf and Ken Cuccinelli. That sounds kind of close to Coachy, but whatever. The senior official performing the duties of Deputy Secretary are not legally qualified to hold those positions, a government watchdog concluded on today. Now, the Government Accountability Office said Wolf and Cuccinelli, I keep wanting to say Coachy, I'm sorry, Cuccinelli, but hell, it's me, I guess, I don't know. Y'all tell me on that part. Now, he assumed those jobs under an order of secession that was issued by an acting secretary who himself had no authority to hold his job. You see what I'm saying? Let's connect the dots here. That former acting head was Kevin McAllen, who took over after last Homeland Security, to be confirmed by the Senate, Kirsten Nielsen, who resigned. Now, GAO's conclusion had no force of law, but the agency said it is referring its conclusion to the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General. Now, Friday's findings could, however, be cited in lawsuits challenging DHS policies, including stricter immigration controls. Now, DHS, of course, dismissed the report as mistaken. Damage control, we know what the hell that is. Try to fix it, make it sound good, make it sound half-assed right, like they not at fault, perhaps, or it was something that was out of their control, or they couldn't do, or an excuse, rather. Now, they did respond by saying we wholeheartedly disagree with the GAO's baseless report. Now, that's what a spokesman said. Like I said, damage control. It's really sad. Now, Omar Jatwood, yeah, that's what the hell it say, Jatwood, director of the American Civil Liberties Union's Immigration Rights Project, said the GAO's findings would bolster claims that DHS illegally imposed restrictions on asylum seekers. So it's getting pretty deep right there. So it's a motive there for these people to end up in these positions. It's definitely motive, and the more that story develops, the more we're going to have to cover that. But I'm telling y'all, now if this man, how this man hire you when he ain't even had the qualifications to hold his job, so he ain't had no authority, no power to even be making them calls. Now this is just my opinion, but it sounds like some buddy shit to me, if you ask me. It's buddy shit. I don't know if that's some good old boy shit, or the boy next door, or your family and my family wealthy as hell, and we helping each other out. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Owe the favor, I don't know. I just wanted to hold me up in there with him. I mean, it's just like when, say we ladies, we go out to we'll get to the nail shop or the beauty salon. Now, you know, it's some favoritism going on. It's unspoken, though. You know who comes to who to get their hair done, and it's been noticed that the prices be fairly a little different. Because a friend is going to do their own friend hair cheaper than they would just a regular client. Or say over at McDonald's or something, dad's the manager and his son is working age now. I mean, there's so many ways that can happen. Let's not forget lying on the application, because out of all the times you done worked, and some of y'all might know somebody right now that you work with, knowing good and hell well they ain't supposed to have that damn job, but they got it. Whether they used the silver tongue in the interview, or whether they gave up a little coaching, a little paintis to get the job, or like I say, I helped you 3 years ago, you helped me now. I don't know. It's a toss-up on that part. But y'all think about that, and y'all let me know what y'all come up with that. Alright? Let sister know how you feel about that. Now, whether you follow on Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter, I mean, it's somewhere everywhere. So y'all get in touch with me, and let me know what y'all think about this. Alright? Now, moving along here. Now, the allegations of the 2016 election fraud by Michael Cohen. Yeah, I had to be silent right there for a second. Now, y'all know good and hell well, everybody's been looking at that sideways. Like, that's really not a secret, and it's really not surprising. I mean, just look at it. Sometimes you ain't got to say nothing. Just sit back and watch it and look at it. Because that's what I've been sitting back doing. Just sitting back watching and looking at different stories and seeing how they formulate and what the results end up being before I go ahead and speak on it. Or if it's something hot, I'll let y'all know. But you sit back and you take the time, you listen more when you're talking, you pick up on things. Sometimes the questions you're going to ask is going to be answered if you just not ask, just sit and wait and watch and listen. You know what I'm saying? But we all had a feeling. Even some of the folks who voted for dude. Yeah, I'm going to say dude, so I be fairly nice. Something like that. You know, like that dude's behavior and character traits. But anyhow, we all knew something was going on. We all had a feeling, a hunch, so to speak. So, what's going on that would make us really think about this? Now, Michael Cohen's claims Trump colluded with Russia to win 2016 election in his new book. So we're going to have to go find that new book and take a gander and see what he got to say. Because you let him talk, they're going to tell it all. So we're going to have to check that book out and see what he got going on. And now, along the lines of that, because we're going to have to wait and see how that turns up. Because I've said it before, but what's done in the dark comes to the light, and there's plenty of light on his ass right about now. Yeah, that dude. Now, along those lines, other people are beginning to speak up and say things. The truth is coming out about a lot of it. And if it turns out that the 2016 election was rigged, that it was fraudulent, the question would be, what the hell the government gonna do about it? Because they ain't done too much about nothing concerning the mess that dude keeps getting himself into. Like duct tape will work. It'll keep him off 12. Because although I'm pretty sure they really don't want to stop him, because as long as he run his mouth, he gonna tell it. He gonna tell it on himself. He gonna tell it trying to boast. He gonna tell it trying to find credit for something. But it's gonna come out. Now, like I said, now Barack Obama speaks at a town hall with young European leaders. Now, this was back in April of 2019 now. In an interview, slammed that dude for trying to actively kneecap the Postal Service to affect mail-in voting in the 2020 election, and urged lawmakers and citizens to take actions to protect the integrity of the election. Okay, I gotta stop right there. When the hell did the election have any integrity? He's in office, so there went the damn integrity. Because if he played with the 2016 to get in office, there was no integrity there. It could be bought or swindled or however he did it. Because until it's proven to be true, it's all still very much allegations. So whoever need to be getting the evidence, y'all need to hurry up so they can do something about dude. Now, Obama, speaking on the podcast of his former campaign manager, David Plouffe, I might have screwed up that name, was responding to recent comments by Dude, who said earlier around that time that holding up emergency funds for the U.S. Postal Service would ensure that the post office would be unable to take all of these millions and millions of ballots. Oh yeah, that's your concern. Just the ballots. Do tell. Now, Obama, responding to those remarks, accused Republicans of having tried for years to discourage people's votes from counting in all kinds of ways, like voter identification laws, gerrymandering, but said Dude's threats were unique to modern history. Which makes sense, because you gotta, in order to get your plan to go through, you gotta make some sort of changes to make everything else fit your narrative. So basically, Dude is opposing USPS funding because of mail-in voting. What does that sound like to you? Isn't that interference? Isn't that a conflict of interest? See, these are things you gotta pay attention to and see and listen and understand, because Dude has taken everybody for a ride. Now, it went on to say, what we've never seen before is a president say, I'm going to try to actively kneecap the Postal Service to encourage voting. And I will be explicit about the reason I'm doing it. Obama said of Dude, who has pushed for in-person voting. That's sort of unheard of, right? And we also have not had an election in the midst of a pandemic that is still deadly and killing a lot of people. So in that circumstance, the thing I'm worried about is, how do we protect the integrity of the election process? How do we make sure that the people's votes are counted? How do we police and monitor how state officials are setting up polling places and ensuring that every vote is counted, he continued. Now, see, that brings up a valid question. Now, if he crippled the U.S. Postal Service, then those people who can't get out to vote, that would, in effect, be voting against him, their votes wouldn't count and he'd win. That's tampering. Like, this is on so many levels, just... I mean, how many federal cases or crimes can this dude get away with? And the truth is staring us in the face, but what's being done about it? Nothing's being done about it. Now, dude has so far resisted congressional Democrats' efforts to add billions of dollars to the Postal Service budget to help fund the extra work needed to process more voting by mail as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Although he later suggested he would not veto such funding if it were part of the next coronavirus relief package. Sounds like an agenda to me, but let's continue. Trump has repeatedly claimed that the mail-in voting used in the United States since the Civil War invites fraud. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the United States according to the numerous investigations and studies. It just sounds like what? What does he always give? Dude has always got excuses, reasonings, whims, harebrained ideas, but I mean, it just goes to show. So even with him trying to get in the way of progress that could protect millions and billions of people, so the election would in fact continue as it should without losing any integrity. But the problem is the integrity is already gone, because if he cheated to get in, what integrity is there to protect? And reading between the lines on this, dude want to stop the voting, so these people can't vote his ass up out of there. He done already said he pretty much ain't gonna be willing to leave if he lose. He don't want to leave the White House if he lose. But that's kind of how things go. But it just goes to show that there's a very strong possibility that there has been election fraud, and that dude is a part of it. Now, I know you probably say, you keep saying dude. I try not to say the T word too often, because, well, everybody's going through hell who even say the T, yeah, that word there. I ain't scared. I just don't have time for no issues and problems. But I'm gonna make sure y'all know what the hell is going on, because other than that, you can kiss my ass. I'm gonna say what needs to be said, and my personal opinion on this shit here is that this motherfucker is guilty. So there you have it. Because it's too many coincidences, too many attachments, too many connections, too much involvement that is unnecessary, too many conflicts of interest. The post office should be able to accept mail-in votes. Because with everything electronic, everything, dealing with everything and anything electronic on the computer, on the smartphone, on the laptop, on the iPad, y'all get it. It's being hacked and accounts toyed with and everything else. So how much more likely the hell is the mail going to get tampered with majorly? As bad as people want to work right now, ain't nobody trying to be catching no federal case for playing with the mail when it comes to the election. I mean, there's always an idiot that's going to try. That's going to get greedy and going to try, because somebody might try to pay them or whatever. Consequences are consequences on either way, and I really do think it. So we're going to sit back and we're going to ride it out, and we're going to let the light shine on all the misdeeds when it comes to allegations of 2016 election fraud, because between then and now, there's a lot of proof out there. There's a lot of proof. So I just want y'all to be aware and to stay on top of what's going on, so you know. I know it's been a while. My apologies to all of y'all. Like I said, I've been sitting back just taking some time, coping with the pandemic and everything, and I hope and pray that everyone is well. Your families and friends are covered and protected. You take proper precautions, especially all the pregnant ladies out there, all the new parents with the newborns. Protect yourself and your families. If you love yourself, then wear a mask. Now, if you don't love yourself, that says a whole lot about you. So y'all take it easy, all right now?
Welcome to Eastside Baptist Church. My name is James Jenkins, the 14th
It is, ain't it? Mm-hmm. You've been listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. This has been the Sistah-Such-and-such show, and I've been your host. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. Remember, if it looks, walks, and talks like a duck, then it's a fucking duck. So call it what it is. Mm-hmm. For more information on my podcast and videos, go to Spreaker.com/show/Sistah-Such-and-such. That's me. But it's to get it raw. While you're online, check out our Facebook page for On One Radio. You'll find a lot of interesting things over there. Also, while you're on Facebook perusing, check out On One's Day One's private Facebook group. It's for all the behind the scenes and the stuff that maybe I talk about that everybody don't get to hear. Behind the scenes. Back porch conversations and whatnot. We're on other social media as well. Check us out on WordPress, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Tumblr, and Collide. On One Radio is raw, uncut, true.